This video will be for people who are thinking about starting a Flay Barb and trying to figure out if it's worth the effort or not. Because though you might watch Rob's videos and hear that some barbs are clearing, 140, 150 with a Flay Barb, these are also builds by people who blast all day long and gear up double, triple affix gear and have everything fully masterworked. But what is possible when you have some gear that has some stats like life per second, non-GA items, your main hand non-GA, but you've got the tempers right, and you've got some of the key pieces like the Shaco and some of the uniques that you need. So this is all following Rob's build guide, so I'll link that below. So that'll cover Paragon skills, but it's the gear that's the grind that you'll be lacking in the beginning, and you'll also be lacking the skill, because this is not as easy as, say, a whirlwind twister or a bash barb, something along those lines. This is all about inflicting bleed damage, stacking it, using rupture at the right time so that you don't lose the bleed damage off the boss, for example. So you want to wait for this wonton aspect to be active, which means you have to look at your bar and see this like gold bar shimmering around it, indicating that the 13 seconds has completed, and then now you can use rupture safely without losing all your bleed damage that you've inflicted on a mob. You also, there are two variants to the build. There's the 3 war cry one, and then there's the one with the iron skin for more protection. Now you'll definitely need to go the iron skin route when you're first starting, because you'll grapple, or you'll steel grasp a pack of mobs in and then insta die if you don't pop your iron skin in time. So there are lots of different cooldowns you're watching. There's strategies working the pit, because the boss is the easy part. So it switches. So like in Bash and some of these Dust Devil ones, it's very easy to get to the boss, but then you actually have to play around with some of the dynamics of the boss and spend a minute on the boss or more to defeat it. This is the opposite. This is like a single target damage type of build where you try to use rupture to get you through the packs of mobs leading to the boss. So I'm just going to quickly go through my gear. So you will need a rogue level to around 50, so you get the temper manual for crit damage, because your gloves will be tempered to crit damage. All your weapons will have crit damage on them. And then all your jewelry will have crit damage on them. So you'll brick a lot of items, and I did brick a lot of items, and I bricked probably 500 million worth of like items, which sucks. And this is just basic gear. So you're gonna need like 750,000 gold if you want to especially trade for a couple of the key items, like for example pants with GA Flay on them, which will probably run you something like 250 million. So what else is on my gear? So again, like I have life per second on this ring, no GAs, no GA on my main hand, Flay duration on all the weapons. Then on your rings, you have the Warcry cooldown. On your amulet, you have Imposing Presence. So that, like, this amulet is probably my best piece that I have. Your boots, you're going for some movement speed and crowd control. You're going for crowd control as well on your gloves. On your pants, you're doing Imposing Presence just like your amulet. But you're also going for the stun on Steel Grasp, but I went for this concussion, which does the stun on your Flay attack. So I still have 3 tempers left, so I'll probably attempt to reroll this. I just really would hate to brick this at this point. I'd be at that level of frustration where I might just give up on the build if I brick another pair of pants that cost 250 million. So what else do we have? So my Shaco was double critted for masterworking on cooldown reduction, and I rerolled this a few times to crit on damage reduction. Otherwise, attack speed, crit chance on your gloves and rings if you can, like a missing crit chance here. And then, so the next topic is where you're going to struggle. Resistances, for example, look at my resistances: 56 on 3 of them, 66 on another, and that's including 2 affixes I'm giving out both on my gloves and my boots to get resist all elements, and all my jewelry are royal diamonds to get the resist all elements. I'm still not hitting the cap. And my armor is below cap as well, so I need to masterwork this piece up so that the armor increases. And like I think I've re-rolled this armor trying to get a higher armor roll probably 20 times. So that's like a good 60 million I spent trying to up this, and I just can't hit. So that's unfortunate. But that's part of the game. So, and I have Warcry on my boots. So some of these are nice. So like the Warcry on the boots, the Flay on the pants, the Cut to the Bone on my amulet. Like some of these are decent pieces. They're definitely like not like the lowest gear you can get. So now I think it's time to give a little showcase of the build. Now my Bash Barb easily farmed tier 89 without any difficulties. It was like a minute and a half probably I was hitting probably 11:30, somewhere around there. So maybe closer to 3 minutes for the Bash Barb to do level 89. With this character, this is not the level I'd be farming yet. I'm not geared up for this yet. I need to do a lot more masterworking. I need to figure out my resistances a little bit more. And also need to figure out the strategy. It's a lot more difficult to play this build. So I'll probably die a couple times, but let's just try this out. I'd rather showcase and die and show people that like you're gonna struggle in the beginning with this build than just blast through a level 69 and make it look like it's very doable. Average gear, average player, I'd say. So see, I don't want to pop my iron skin soon. I want to use my war cry and then pop my iron skin about now, and then just rupture, and get out of the ground effects. So you want to save the iron skin because that's your only chance of surviving once you've pulled in a pack. And you aren't worried about Wanton Rupture as much. Let's see, I'll pop it there. Because you're not fighting a boss, so you're not worried about keeping that bleed damage. You hope that you can just wipe out the mob. Oh, I'm struggling here. What's going on? Because you're hoping to just one-shot the mob, so you're not really too concerned about keeping Wanton Rupture up. I'm gonna have to get out of here. Oh no. So if you attack frequently enough, then the hectic aspect procs, and if you aren't aware what that is, so it reduces your cooldown of one of your skills in your bar. Oh my god, I saw that happening. By 3 seconds. So if you attack frequently enough with your basic skill, then I think every 5 basic skill attacks, you restore 3 seconds of one of your cooldowns. So sometimes you get lucky, and then you can keep inside the pack of mobs by just popping your iron skin again for survivability and damage reduction. Oh, get out of there. I'll just move on to the next pack if it's not quite large enough. So here I'll attack, I'll wait for my health to drop, and then pop iron skin, and then pop rupture a couple times. And the pack melts. So if you do it properly like that, you can be pretty successful at clearing mobs fairly quickly. Popped iron skin a little early there, but it's okay. So you want to use your hook there to inflict vulnerable damage, because a lot of this build is on vulnerable damage. I think it's you want a ratio of, I think it's double the crit damage versus vulnerable. I think is the ratio. So anyways, I am looking for feedback. So my playstyle, everything, like if people can suggest like, oh, you should pop your war cry first, or you should do this, let me know your thoughts. But I'm just gonna move on, I think, to the next level here. So yeah, with the minimal movement speed, this build is brutal and no leap, nothing. So here we go. This is definitely... Whoa! See, I almost died there. It's probably a lack of resistances that just drains my health so quickly. See, you had to be so quick to pop that iron skin, otherwise you insta-die after pulling a pack in. So be very careful. Otherwise, like, clearing those packs was pretty quick. It almost felt like a bash barb. Pull this pack in. Oh, see, I don't have iron skin, so I actually had to back away there until I could pop iron skin and survive. I guess I could take some elixirs and stuff and just boost myself temporarily, but I don't want to rely on anything like that. No holy bolts, nothing like that. Just play the game and really test the build out. Oh no, no iron skin, no iron skin, no. There, it came back. I kind of want to wait for that iron skin again. There we go. Oh, come on. So as you can see with the time that it's taking to do this, it definitely isn't a level you want to farm at. I'd rather farm like 10, 20 levels lower and do it twice in the same time frame to get more mats for masterworking. But there we go. Okay, so now I think the strategy is grapple hook, then probably war cry, and then just keep hitting. So let's see here, war cry, and then just watch the bleed on the boss. Stack it, and now I can use my rupture. Oh, I didn't one-shot him, but there you go. Done. So that's how this build works. So you can decide for yourself if this is something you want to try out, and please provide feedback. I'd love to learn how to play this build better by somebody who's able to clear the higher level pits with a Flay Barb. And if you found any of this useful, any of this sort of like average player, average gear kind of videos, then leave a like, leave a comment. I'll try to get back to anyone who posts. Thank you. See you in the next video.